Let's talk for a minute as they recess between rounds here and they get their advice from their seconds and corners. Mike Tyson. Now, 28 years ago today, Mike Tyson regained the World Boxing Council heavyweight title against none other than Frank Bruno. Jake Paul wasn't even born then. And we are facing, I've seen very strong comments from you in the last week saying that you're very unhappy about Mike Tyson stepping into the ring at the age of 57, 19 years after he retired against
Kevin McBride.
And on a night when he said...
A sad night, by the way.
A sad night that where he said that this is it. I haven't got it anymore. I'm a ghost of myself. Is it denigrating to boxing rather than Mike Tyson or even Jake Paul that this guy, who is arguably, well, I don't think it's even arguable, he is the most famous living boxer on the planet, maybe even the most loved.
Yeah,
now.
Absolutely. Like, do you know?
Is it a black eye for boxing that he's able to be drawn back into the ring because it's money. It's an enormous event in lots of weird ways, and we'll talk about why in a minute. But is it a black eye on boxing that Mike Tyson should not be sitting there on hundreds of millions, if not tens of millions of dollars right now?
Absolutely. I mean, look, I understand the business side of it. I understand the money that Mike Tyson will get for coming back into the ring. For all the reasons you just highlighted there, Gareth, that he's an icon. Our kids will have Mike Tyson T-shirts on. Like the name will never disappear. He's one of those guys. And this is why I had such a strong opinion on it going into this fight, because we understand where Jake Paul's from and how he's gone from YouTuber to boxer, and I get the dream and I get what he's doing, and I totally understand it. But we're talking about Mike Tyson here, a guy that's 57 years of age, who, like you highlighted there, Kevin McBride in his last fight, he got stopped in, 5 or 6 rounds, and I think it was a sad sight to see. You can see he was a shell of his former self. We're talking 19 years ago. I mean, you look at the Mike Tyson that in 1986 knocks out Trevor Berbick to become the world's youngest ever heavyweight champion. You look at that guy and you see where he's at now, you go, I used to get up as a child. I was 11 then. Well, I got up with my dad to listen to Mike Tyson, Trevor Berbick on the radio because he was a phenomenon, Mike Tyson. I got up. I was 11 years of age then, Gareth. I've been retired 25 years. Mike Tyson, who I was getting up when I was a kid, is still going. And I got 57 years of age. And do you know what my worry is? That Jake Paul... we know where he's at and whatever, and he's got that
big, strong, 210-pound, 27-year-old.
He'll want to go out there and make a statement against a living legend. And my worry is Mike Tyson. His health in recent times. We saw him on a Zimmer frame. He was on crutches for a while. His health. He's not been the greatest.
Well, he's also self-confessed taking a lot of drugs in his life.
Absolutely.
And
he's lived a bad life.
But he's in a great place right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it. No. Well, I think what we do want to see...
Only because... Sorry to interrupt you, but the only reason I don't want to see it is because I was brought up with this guy, and I remember watching him just thinking... I was obsessed with him. I don't want to see Mike Tyson. God forbid Jake Paul knocks him out or something. It would be such a sad story. I think that's why.
I think what we all want to see in our dreams is Mike Tyson go in there, force some moves on Jake Paul and knock him out.
Absolutely.
Power, he may still have power, but he won't have reflex anymore, timing, cardio, all those things. He's going to train like a Trojan for 60, 70 days. It's the 20th of July at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. There'll probably be 90,000 people there. It'll probably get major pay-per-view sales. They may well end up earning hundreds of millions of dollars. I think there's speaking to you as well, someone I love in the sport and love as a friend, and I know what happened to you with your brain hemorrhage when you were forced to stop boxing, that there's a physical danger to him as well, to his head, where he's going to be hit by very young men.
There's an element of risk there, isn't there? Like
the heart and his head because of his age. I've looked into some medical reports on the fight. in the last week as well. I'm very ambivalent about it because in one weird way, that on the top line, we've got the most famous living boxer against the best marketeer in modern times in terms of influencers. And you kind of want Mike to go in there and do the fairy tale and knock out this young upstart. But it almost won't happen after 2 minutes of the fight. He's probably got 2 minutes to do that, unless Jake Paul... I don't know, I'm uncomfortable in lots of ways, but at the same time, if you in your situation right now, if young Joe Weller, for example, or KSI said to you, we've been having this internet beef and you know you can earn 15 million from a fight, would you find it very difficult to say no?
Absolutely, and I totally get it, and that's what I said to you. I understand the business
even the
side
situation you're in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you know what you can still do. I've seen your footwork.
Absolutely.
I know what you do on the pads.
Yeah, but it is one of those. I think that, you know, money can be a ruler, and you know, when that sort of money's offered and on the table, and we get it, and there's a spectacle, you're going to get eyeballs on it. I understand that because Mike Tyson is that legend. You know, whether you know, love it or hate it, or whether you want to see it or whether you don't want to see it, you're going to watch it. That is a fact.
We are all going to watch it.
Yeah, we're going to watch it, and I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to be watching it for the reasons you highlighted, saying, "Come on, Mike." You've got to do this because, like, I don't want, you know, my childhood hero to go out like that. And I think that's my only concern.
When Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. fought 4 years ago...
But that was an exhibition, wasn't it?
In an exhibition. It was still uncomfortable to watch. I was doing a live report on it through the night, I think, for the newspaper, and it was stultifying to get through. I
thought we worked on that together.
We might have worked. I think
we've done it in here. I'm sure we did.
Were we in here? But I also remember writing it and thinking, what do I actually write here? Because it's not an edifying spectacle at all. We're going to talk about this a bit more. Joe Joyce is closing in on the 4th round against Cash Ali, who's surviving like playing possum on the ropes and throwing the odd punch back, but he's been dominated by Joe Joyce as they close out in the 4th round. You're listening to Fight Night on talkSPORT.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.